Is the United States a democracy or a republic? Every time I mention the word democracy in one of my videos, I get comments saying, no place in the Constitution does it mention the word democracy. We're a republic. Sometimes we'll have added comments about what type of republic. The question goes to the core of political identity. It's significant and complex. You see, some argue the United States is a democracy ruled by the people through elections. Others insist it's a republic governed by laws and constitutional limits that restrain majority rule. In truth, both perspectives reveal essential truths about our government and how it works. Those who call the United States a democracy point to one simple fact: sovereignty lies with the people. From the Declaration of Independence, governments derive their powers from the consent of the governed, to our Constitution's opening words, "We the people," the foundation of American government is popular authority. Our representatives are elected by citizens. Laws, policies, and leadership all change through the ballot box. Even though the word democracy does not appear in the Constitution, the principle of self-government is everywhere. The United States functions as a representative democracy, where citizens choose leaders who act in their name. Every expansion of voting rights, the abolition of property qualifications, the 15th Amendment, women's suffrage, direct election of senators, has made the nation more democratic. From town meetings to presidential elections, public participation defines our system. So when people describe America as a democracy, they mean it in practice. A government accountable to the people, sustained by the people, and guided by the people's will. Now, others remind us that the United States was never intended to be a pure democracy, and that's true. The Constitution guarantees each state a republican form of government. To the founders, republic meant a government of laws, not of men, a system where authority is balanced and restrained. James Madison, in Federalist No. 10, warned that pure democracies are prone to instability and the tyranny of the majority. We know that. Thus, the Constitution built guardrails to protect liberty from fleeting popular passions. The Senate, where every state has equal representation, is not democratic in proportion, but Republican in design. The Electoral College filters presidential choice through states, not direct national vote. We have had numerous presidents who did not win the majority of national vote, but won the Electoral College. And the Supreme Court, appointed for life, stands apart from public opinion, defending the Constitution even when majorities disagree, especially when majorities disagree. These features may seem undemocratic, and they are, but they serve a vital purpose to ensure that majority rule never becomes majority oppression. In this sense, the United States is a constitutional republic, where the rule of law, separation of powers, and individual rights take precedence over raw popular will. Now, in truth, the blending is what's really critical. We are a democratic republic, a nation where the people rule, but under a constitution that limits power and protects rights. Democracy gives the people a voice. In our case, democracy gives the people the ultimate choice. It was the people who decided to become independent. It was the people who created our Constitution. So in a sense, we are a democracy who selected a republican form of government in order to protect the rights of the minority, of everyone. The republic ensures that voice does not silence others. This balance has been tested repeatedly. During the Civil War, when the Union fought to preserve national unity, during Reconstruction, when new amendments extended democracy to freed slaves, and during the Civil Rights Movement, when courts enforced constitutional equality despite local majorities resisting change. If we look at constitutional crisis, if we look at the Walk of Tears in the Cherokee Nation, the majority of Americans were in favor of abusing Cherokees. And now we look at it as something terrible. On the other hand, when Dwight Eisenhower called out the National Guard in Arkansas, in Little Rock, it was to go against the popular will of the people of Arkansas. Each time, the tension between majority rule and constitutional restraint defined progress. Too much democracy risks instability. Too little risks tyranny. The founder's solution, a republic with democratic principles, has endured precisely because it adapts to both freedom and order. Today, this debate continues in new forms. We discuss the Electoral College, Senate representation, or Supreme Court decisions. We are revisiting the same question. Should the majority's will always prevail? You will see regular opinion pieces in the New York Times or on social media talking about the popular will of the people and how we need to be more democratic. Should the majority's will always prevail, or should the Constitution stand above it? Modern America often behaves like a democracy through elections, referenda, and public opinion shaping policy. But it remains structured as a republic through fixed laws, checks and balances, and constitutional protections. Often the same people who, in the beginning of the year, are talking about how we're not a democracy enough, are crying for us to be more of a republic when the majority is doing things that they don't like. It's happening right now. There are people who elected a government to take specific actions, and there are other people who are saying, oh, the actions they want to take are terrible. Well, who's the Democratic? Who's in favor of democracy in that argument? We celebrate democracy in principle, but rely on Republican institutions to preserve it. For example, the First Amendment guarantees free speech, but because a majority voted for it. Now, the Constitution will rule against what the majority want heard. The Second Amendment is clearly pro-democracy. The strength of a republic is it safeguards liberty even when democracy falters. And this goes back since the beginning of our republic. When Benjamin Franklin exited Constitution Convention in 1787, he was asked, what kind of government have we got? A monarchy, or a republic? He famously replied, "A republic if you can keep it." Franklin's warnings remain timeless. A republic requires civic virtue, informed citizens, and respect for law. Respect for law. So, if you want to have a government which protects you, you have to join in on, we are going to protect the law. Without that, democracy can degrade into disorder, and liberty can erode into tyranny. Tyranny is when you believe the government is doing you wrong. Disorder is when other people's actions are invading on your rights. So, is the United States a democracy or a republic? The simple answer would be both. It's a republic by structure and a democracy by spirit, a system where popular sovereignty and constitutional restraint work hand in hand. Democracy gives government its legitimacy. The republic gives it stability. The enduring success of the American experiment lies not in choosing one over the other, but in maintaining the delicate balance between freedom and order, passion and principle, and the voice of the people and the rule of law. That balance, tested, refined, and renewed through every generation, is what keeps the United States both a democracy and a republic. Let's talk again in this subject because we can delve far deeper into it. I believe there's a overall structure that's democratic, and there is a operating government that's republic. So join me. I'd like to see your comments. I'd like to see your arguments. If you'd like and subscribe. I'm Bruce Alton Carlson. Hope to see you here soon.